This is Net News Network headline news in 3 minutes for Friday, February 18th, 2022. President Biden on Friday said he is convinced that Russia will invade Ukraine. He says President Vladimir Putin has made the decision to invade Ukraine, telling reporters that he believes Russia will target the capital city of Kiev. At this moment, I'm confident he has made the decision, Biden said. We have reason to believe that. Following two vital calls on Friday, one with members of Congress and the other with European leaders, Biden said the overwhelming message on both calls was one of determination, unity, and resolve, but ultimately he believes an invasion is imminent. Noting that Russian troops have Ukraine surrounded, Biden said American officials believe Russia will target Ukraine's capital city. Biden said the Western Front remains united and resolved, and the ongoing tension at Ukraine's border. Asked whether diplomacy is off the table, Biden said no, until he does invade, diplomacy is always a possibility. Biden told reporters Thursday that he expected Putin to invade Ukraine in the next several days. They have not moved any of their troops out. They've moved more troops in, number one, Biden said. Number two, we have reason to believe that they are engaged in a false flag operation to have an excuse to go in. Every indication we have is they're prepared to go into Ukraine, attack Ukraine, Biden added, noting that a diplomatic path is still available before the deadline. I really have to wonder who is committing the false flag. If you look at pictures of the supposed artillery shelling of the school in Ukraine, it does not look anything like an artillery shell hit that school. And there were kids in the school at the time and no one was hurt. What kind of artillery shell puts a small hole in the wall and does very little damage to the building? I think there's dishonesty here on all sides, and honestly, I think the U.S. wants a war with Russia. Some researchers are suggesting that vitamin D insufficiency has ties to worse COVID-19 outcomes. This was in Medical News Today. A new study that considers pre-infection vitamin D levels confirms their link to severe COVID-19. The researchers say their findings do not necessarily imply that vitamin D treatment will impact COVID-19 outcomes, although they suggest maintaining normal levels is wise. Most Americans are vitamin D deficient. Having sufficient levels of vitamin D is important for promoting healthy bones and teeth. Too little of it has links to diabetes, autoimmune, cardiovascular, and infectious diseases. Among these is COVID-19. Vitamin D has been talked about from the beginning from the supposed tinfoil hat people. Take your vitamin D, folks. Kim Potter, the moron cop who shot a man instead of tasing him on accident, has been sentenced to 2 years in prison. Frankly, I think that's kind of disgusting because a person who kills somebody in a DUI accident would normally get about a 5-year sentence. So this is on the very light side. That lady was a cop for 26 years and a training officer. She has no excuse whatsoever. This has been Net News Network headline news in 3 minutes. For more, visit netnewsnetwork.net. Thanks for listening.